Herzlich willkommen nach langer Zeit mal wieder zum neuen Stream von Stray Gods. Heute wollen wir Akt 2 fertig machen und dann weiter zu Akt 3 wechseln. Ich denke mal, heute werden wir das Spiel beenden können und ich freue mich schon, was noch in Akt 3 kommt, weil bis jetzt muss ich sagen, ist es ein schönes Spiel, haben die gut entwickelt, schön gemacht. Und jetzt weiter geht's. Wir haben letztes Mal aufgehört, wo wir Aphrodite vor dem Selbstmord gerettet haben oder überzeugt haben, dass es nicht macht. Als nächstes müssen wir zu Medusa, aber erstmal nochmal die anderen zwei Punkte. Weil ich denke mal, nach Medusa denke ich mir, dass es dann vorbei ist mit dem Akt 2. Erstmal mit Freddy sprechen, was die wohl zu sagen hat. Los geht's.
Hey, hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse.
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having.
Well, I stopped the goddess of love from killing herself, I guess.
Whoa. Do gods have interventions? You know, they're nothing like I thought they would be. Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
Okay, aber man merkt, dass noch ein bisschen ein Bug ist, gerade eben. Manchmal ist Freddy die Stimme etwas höher, lauter und dann wieder ganz normal. Aber das sind wohl nur so ein paar Kinderkrankheiten. Das wird sich bestimmt bald ändern.
What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
Oh, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
Ah, die sind wohl ein paar, aber wir haben noch nichts gesagt. Wegen der Band.
I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's always been something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its lead singer. Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
Ugh, I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
Und
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddy?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
What
Apollo?
about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
Und was weißt du Persephone.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true.
Mhm. Ja, sie ist schon ein bisschen sauer. Und? Was weißt du über
Do
Calliope?
you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9, though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow. I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
Na, hat sie was Gutes gemacht.
You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Yeah, kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into a sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him.
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil. Weirdly, he's also the only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
Ja klar, genug hingehen und fragen so. Und Pan, was hast du von der Statue? Gefällt's dir?
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her, then. Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there's never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me, I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost, but also what might still be out there.
Und?
You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? And all those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be everywhere and no one would know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi?
Die ist wohl ein bisschen nerdy in der Mythologie. Aber schon interessant, dass man Zeus nicht sieht oder Hades, was mit denen wohl passiert ist. Und ob es wirklich andere Pantheons gibt mit Götter.
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
Könnten eigentlich so geheim bleiben.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it, it's like UFOs.
Okay, I have to hear this.
Okay, so you could have real evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline: Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah, you're right.
Ja, keiner würde sowas glauben, wenn man es erzählen würde. Man würde ihn für verrückt halten.
Okay, that's enough questions for now.
You sure? I can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddy. Time for more mystery solving.
Ah, schöne Geschichtsstunde. Und noch mit Apollo sprechen und dann auf zu Medusa.
Hello again. I can't remember the last time I had guests so frequently. I did tell you we could discuss your memories and the Eidolon more in depth after the party. Did you have any questions, or?
When all these memories start to return, will I feel different?
Well, let's see. It starts as dreams you'll have of places you've never been, people you've never met.
Hallo
Fleeting images,
Sinas,
feelings.
willkommen
Then they'll
zurück.
appear while you're awake. You'll be eating breakfast and suddenly recall when you last ate something similar in the 17th century. The only difficult part is that eventually it can be hard to differentiate between your life and all those other lives. They blend together.
It does sound confusing.
A little, yeah. And not all the memories will be good ones. It can take time to process.
Ich hoffe, du hast einen schönen Tag gehabt, hast den Tag genossen, hat nicht geregnet. Und, bist schon aufgestorben?
How many times have you died? Can I ask that?
Well, we call it passing on, meeting the Eidolon, and it's fine. I've passed on 12 times that I can recall.
So your name isn't really Apollo?
Most recently it was Lucas. Everyone Lucas ever knew is gone, however, so these days I prefer Apollo again.
Lucas? Seems weird to think of you as a Lucas.
It was weird for him, too. Much like yourself, Lucas becoming Apollo was somewhat of a surprise.
Sounds like there's a story there.
Jo, auch ganz gut. Auch bei so schwül, hat nicht geregnet, es ist einfach nur Hitze pur. Und da ist man froh, wenn man nach Hause kommt, in die kühle Wohnung, wobei Dachgeschoss, nicht so kühl, aber mit dem mobilen Klimagerät, wenn man es anmacht, ist schon besser geworden. Ich bin froh, wenn wieder Herbst wird, ein bisschen kühler.
Tell me about this Lucas. How did he become you? Or is it how you became Apollo?
Apollo had taken to surfing. He left the city without permission and roamed the coast looking for... Well, I'm not sure now. Whatever it was, he found it one night when a giant wave took him down. He was drowning, and I thought, this is finally it. But it wasn't. Lucas saw Apollo struggling and swam out to save him. He pulled us ashore, but it was too late. It took a long time to realize what happened. I'd didn't return to the city until years
Ja,
later.
viel Spaß,
By
Sinas.
then, everyone thought I was Apollo's chosen successor.
So no trial for you, huh?
It wasn't easy at first, without memories or anyone to guide me, but no, nothing like that.
Ja, das ist auch dann komisch, wenn man von heute auf morgen ein Gott wird und kein Mentor hat, der einem dabei hilft.
You said it becomes hard to differentiate your life from the others. How hard, exactly? It'll still be me, right?
Grace, would you say that who you are is at least in part due to your experiences?
I guess so, sure.
Well, you'll have a lot more experiences. They won't feel like someone else's either. It will feel like you did all those things. They will shape who you are now, just as they shaped Calliope and all those who came before her. The good news is, you won't get all the memories. Each time we pass on, the older memories fade.
Und es ist gut, wenn man sich nicht mehr erinnert an alles.
Wait, how is it good that old memories start to fade?
We're many thousands of years old, Grace. If all of those memories returned with perfect clarity, you'd drown in them.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you've all forgotten so much?
Tell me, how much do you remember from when you were a small child?
Bits and pieces, I guess. Not much.
It's the same for us. The further I try to think back, the more blurry it becomes. I remember the important bits, but little else. Some of the really old memories. There's so many mortal stories that get mixed up with them, things my previous selves learned as legends. It becomes hard to tell. It takes time, Grace. You'll remember all the lives you've led, but at a pace you can handle, and nothing more.
Ja, das stimmt auch wieder, was er sagt. Wenn man sich an den ganzen Wert meines Tausende von Jahren, wenn man sich alles erinnern würde, was passiert ist, jede Kleinigkeit, würde man vielleicht ein bisschen schon baller werden.
Wait, what would have happened if Lucas hadn't tried to rescue you? What if no one was there when you...
When I died, then the Eidolon of Apollo's line would have ended forever, I think.
You think?
There have been stories about Eidolons that survive for a time and go wandering. That's probably all they are, though. Stories. It's not something we've had much opportunity to study, but normally death without passing on is how an idol really dies. Forever.
Mhm. Und so stirbt ein Gott, wenn er das Hydra nicht weitergibt. Das ist dann schon traurig.
It's a lot to consider. Assuming I'll even have time to worry about it, what with the trial coming.
Hopefully this eases whatever concerns you might have had. Anything else you'd like to discuss while you're here?
Was kannst du mir über Calliope mehr sagen?
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
For centuries, we were far more. I was the god of the arts, and the muses were my constant companions. We went everywhere together. They had many names, but the three most common were Clio, Talia, and Calliope. The Sisters of Beauty, I called them, though they weren't always women.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Most of us seek out inheritors who are like us, I suppose, but not all. Calliope, in fact, was a man in her previous incarnation. Christoph, I think his name was. A poet Calliope adored. I was surprised when she made him a muse.
Da muss dann die Götter nicht immer eingesteckt, einfach die ihnen am nächsten sind oder ihnen gefallen, die werden wohl dann zu nächsten Göttern.
Who did Calliope become after that poet, Christoph?
You have to realize we're already into the period where Calliope and I, weren't really speaking. She showed up one day in her new form, the one you met. An opera singer whose name she never revealed. We fought, as I recall. I told her she couldn't pass on every time she met an artist she fell in love with. Eventually she'd forget everything about who we were and where we came from. She said she'd rather forget than wallow in old memories like I or the other idols were doing. It was time to wake up and make the best of our situation. Calliope was an idealist without compromise. Always. She hated what we'd become. What I'd become. She wasn't wrong.
From how you describe it, you and Calliope fought a lot.
As often as we saw each other, which became less and less as time wore on. However, she fought with everyone. Calliope hated the idols being kept secret. She and Athena would get into screaming matches over the rules, and it got so I could no longer protect her. She moved out of Olympus years ago and kept to herself. I just assumed she was wrapped up with some new artist when I got the news.
Do you regret not making up with her?
Every day I think about our last conversation and what I should have said or done differently. The problem with immortality is that you think you have all the time in the world.
Mhm. Ja, wenn man unsterblich ist, denkt man, ich habe morgen Zeit, ich habe nächste Woche Zeit. Aber wenn man doch irgendwann stirbt, ist man etwas verloren, weil man nicht mehr mit der Person sprechen konnte, sich versöhnen konnte. Ja, das ist so ein zweischneidiges Schwert, die
It
Unsterblichkeit.
wasn't only fighting with Calliope, right? Surely there were good things too.
Is that how it sounds? No. She was marvelous. A force to be reckoned with if there ever was one. In the darkest days during the war, it was her songs that gave us hope. She kept Aphrodite alive through sheer determination, I think. Calliope cared. About us, about art, about people she'd only just met. It was her greatest strength as well as her greatest weakness.
I wonder why she picked me. I don't feel like I'm any of those things.
You underestimate yourself, Grace. I see a lot of her in you. She chose well.
Und was mit den anderen Musen passiert? Gestorben?
What happened to the other muses? You mentioned 2 others. Were they lost in the war?
Cleo perished centuries before, the victim of an obsessed writer she'd spurned. He kept her in a cage as his personal muse.
That's pretty dark.
It was. By the time we found her, she was already... Well, it's enough to say her captor didn't survive her for long.
Das
Talia,
glaube ich.
however, was lost to us on the very last day of the war. We were about to leave on the ship, but she just never showed up.
Do you know what happened to her?
We never found out. I worried for years, even hired people to look, but as far as I can tell, she up and vanished into smoke that day. The war had ground her down. I was upset, but not surprised.
Ja, wenn man bestimmt so viel Krieg erlebt hat, kann es irgendwann einen zermürben und man möchte mit niemandem mehr was zu tun haben, einfach in Ruhe gelassen werden. Kann man schon ein bisschen verstehen.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
You are. What would you like to know?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
The short answer is, we don't know.
Hmm?
If I think far enough back, I can remember bits and pieces. I remember my first Pythian games, the day the idols split in two over Troy.
Oh my God,
The day my first son died.
Yeah.
Before that, nothing. None of us do. I vaguely recall
Danke
the
für den
very first
Follow.
Apollo many thousands of years ago, but was he the original? Did he appear out of the ether? I couldn't tell you.
Willkommen im Stream. Vielen Dank für den Follow. Ich hoffe, es bleibt dir eine Freude hier im Stream beim Spiel Stray God zu sein. Entschuldige noch die Versprecher. Ich bin noch etwa beim Streamen nicht so geübt. Ich bin etwas noch ruhig, zurückhaltend, etwas schüchtern bei sowas.
Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Interesting. The notion that there might be some other place far away where we're the norm is comforting. Sadly, our memories are filled with blanks. There was a war with beings we called the Titans. A terrible conflict where half our number died, yet do I remember a single battle. The last was after Rome fell. Zeus called us together to relay the news, told us to prepare for battle. And then, in the blink of an eye, I was in the 16th century. What made us forget 1,000 years? What happened during that time? We don't know. Athena calls that period the gap.
Oh, würde schon interessant sein, was in der Lücke passiert ist, wenn man sich vom alten Rom in dem 16. Jahrhundert wieder trifft.
The gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...?
I know I was alive. I passed on my eidolon who knows how many times, yet the moment I woke up, as you call it, all memory of that period was gone. It was Athena who found us. I was in France, I think. She came to my farm, and the moment I laid eyes on her, I just knew. It all came back. Did someone do that to us? Did we scatter to the winds for 1,000 years on purpose? It's a mystery.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena claims she awoke on her own and spent the next century locating the other idols. We've pieced together very little of the gap or of our origins. We simply live with it. Gods we may be, but I'm afraid we don't have all the answers.
Ich glaube, dass in der Lücke vieles, viel Wichtiges drin ist. Und wenn die herausfinden, was dort passiert ist, wissen die, was wirklich passiert ist mit dem Eidolon und alles andere. Ich hoffe, es kommt noch raus, was passiert ist.
Earlier you mentioned your son dying. Did I hear that right? Can idols have children?
It was rare, but yes. Back in ancient times, some of them even became idols themselves.
Some of the idols are actually family, then.
Not anymore. Most of our children met terrible ends. A gift of the fates, perhaps. I don't know. The ones who weren't idols. It's hard, watching your children grow old and die. Never understanding why they can't have the same immortality you do, why you can't grant it to them. My first son is why I'm not permitted in Hades any longer. Let's simply say that most idols have stopped having children, and maybe leave it at that.
Oh, da muss er wohl wegen dem Sohn was Schreckliches gemacht haben in der Unterwelt, dass er nicht mehr hingehen darf,
Tell
hingehen
me
will.
more about the war. It seems to have had a huge effect on all of you.
I don't think we would have left the old world otherwise. It was home.
From Aphrodite's song, I know Ares betrayed everyone. What did you do?
I caused it. I foresaw what was going to happen, so I tried to prevent it. I told Ares. I figured if the god of war couldn't stop what was to come, then
And that's why he betrayed everyone.
he decided the idols were a lost cause. Because I told him we were.
Ja, aber es hätte auch anders passieren können. Hätte vielleicht auch alles, wenn er nicht so ein Arsch gewesen wäre, einfach mit den anderen Göttern zusammen kämpfen können. Vielleicht hätte was ändern können. Man weiß nie.
Surely it could have happened anyhow. It was a big war. The biggest.
Perhaps. We'll never know, will we? My time afterwards was spent helping the survivors, keeping us on the move. If Hephaestus hadn't intervened, we would have all been captured.
And he's...
Oh, gone now, we assume, like so many others. We are nothing more than refugees from a war long over, Grace.
Und, was gibt's über dich so Neues?
I'd like to know a little more about you. All I know is you live in a dump, you have an oracle, and you...
I'm not sure what to tell you. One day has bled into the next for so long, I feel like I've been lost in the spaces in between.
Wow, that's a bit dramatic.
Yeah, well, it comes naturally. Music and the arts were once under my purview as a god.
How did that get decided? Did you have a big hat full of pieces of paper and you all picked at random?
No, we chose them for ourselves. Some, at least. Others were given to us by our priests. We collected godly responsibilities like marbles.
People collect marbles?
Oh, or whatever it is mortals collect these days. Cars, perhaps? The point is, we took our godly duties very seriously.
You must have been very different back when you were a proper god.
I think most of us were. We saw ourselves as, I don't know, teachers. Mortals were our students, and we guided them to enlightenment. We thought we were special, infallible. I was as magnificent as the sun, and I surrounded myself with those who basked in my radiance.
That doesn't sound like you.
I was arrogant. If there was a man or woman I desired, then I had to have them, or there would be consequences. You wouldn't have liked me. I wouldn't have liked me.
Ja, wenn man Gott ist und sozusagen die Sterblichen unterrichtet, ihnen alles beibringt, wird man irgendwann etwas arrogant und man glaubt, man kann alles machen, was man will. Und dann wird man halt arrogant.
So what is Persephone's beef with you exactly? Is it just about what Hades did to her?
That's no small thing.
It seems more personal than that.
I mentioned how Persephone's kidnapping almost meant war between Olympus and Hades, yes? Well, while this was all going on, Persephone managed to escape the underworld, and I'm the one she encountered first.
Was gemacht?
Hades was hot on her heels. And I had a choice. Either do battle with Hades and start the war right then and there, or let him take her back. Zeus would have had my head if I had sparked a war. Yet all I still think of are Persephone's eyes as Hades smugly took back his prisoner. It's not my finest moment.
Ja, vielleicht wir sie retten sollen. Besser einen Krieg früher zu beginnen, als eine unschuldige Seele dafür zu opfern, um später anzufangen.
Apollo, have you ever tried, I don't know, talking to someone about how you feel?
I will never understand this modern fascination with therapy and focusing on one's feelings.
It might help. You never know.
Yes, I've tried it. There was one I used to speak to. Hecate enchanted him never to reveal what I told him. I don't know that unburdening myself to the man helped. He wasn't exactly trained for this sort of problem.
It is kind of hard to relate to a god, sure.
I do appreciate the thought. But I'm afraid muddling through is as good as it gets for us.
Aber da stimme ich sogar zu. Es kann manchmal helfen, sich einem Freund anzuvertrauen und alles von der Seele zu reden. Das kann befreiend sein.
Was it hard for the idols to come to the new world? It's just a place like any other, isn't it?
I don't think it was the place so much as the condition we were in. Shell-shocked, one might say. Our entire world had been turned upside down. Suddenly, we had rules. Secrecy was paramount, and no one was permitted to leave the city. Some, like my sister Artemis, couldn't abide it.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Goddess of the hunt. And a wild thing herself. She left, I think. Faded away without a word. As many did in the early days here. Later, Athena became even more strict. For our own good, of course, but it hasn't been easy. This city has never felt like home so much as a temporary shelter.
Ja, Artemis ist schon dann, wenn man Artemis, sagen wir, einschließt, nur in einen Ort, ist etwas grausam für sie, weil sie hat für die Jagd gelebt. Sie war gerne in den Wäldern, viel herumlaufen, viel reisen. Wenn man jetzt nur noch an einem Ort leben darf, ist schon etwas grausam. Kann man schon verstehen, dass sie dann nicht mehr leben wollte oder vielleicht ist sie irgendwo hingegangen. Wissen wir nicht.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Of course.
Hey Besinas.
I look forward to it.
Okay, Apollo haben wir gesprochen. Dann auf zur Medusa. Mal schauen, was sie uns zu sagen hat. Oder was uns erwartet.
This must be the Viper's Nest.
Und was uns
Scariest
sagen
part
uns
of
erwartet.
town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone. Well, I'm here now. Just another day in the life of an idol.
There you are. Man, this place is the worst. I think someone peed on me.
Freddy? What are you doing here?
What, you thought I wouldn't notice you skulking off? You didn't even bring any equipment, Grace?
Ah. Danke.
Freddy, please tell me you don't think you're some kind of adventurer.
I'm sorry. Are you not about to head into a monster's lair at great personal peril? What else would you call that?
You're such a dork. I adore you.
Good, because I'm not about to let you wander in there without backup. Who knows? Maybe the stuff I know about Medusa might actually apply. Well, that'd be a switch.
Ah, hier haben sie vergessen zu übersetzen. Can she really turn people into stone? Kann sie wirklich Menschen in Stein verwandeln? So sagt es die Mitte.
Do you think she actually turns people to stone?
Let's hope not, or this could be a short visit. Or a really, really long one.
I'm serious.
Perseus used a mirror to reflect Medusa's gaze back at her. Oh, maybe you could use your phone.
You think that would work?
Unless you brought a mirror, Grace, it's all you got.
Und sag mir, was du weißt.
Okay, I'll bite. What do you know about Medusa?
Well, you know, she was human once, right? And she was cursed.
Apollo mentioned it, yeah.
Cursed by Athena. Or so one of the stories goes, anyway.
But doesn't she work for Athena?
Hey, don't look at me. My knowledge of this stuff stops at a few thousand years ago.
Ja, das wäre dann ein sehr, sehr langer Besuch. Bis zur Unendlichkeit und noch viel weiter.
She was once human, but she's definitely a monster, right?
Yeah, one of the worst. But, you know, so was the Minotaur.
Asterion said she was scary. I have a feeling she's not like him.
Then I guess you need to be prepared for the possibility that she is as bad as the legends say. Though some of the stories also say that she was wronged by Athena and that what was done to her was an injustice.
And Athena just follows the rules, right?
Ja, Athena ist ein bisschen streng und glaubt, sie macht alles richtig. Na, werden wir sehen jetzt. Und Asterion mit Minotaur, der war schon cool gewesen. Hast du dir das angeguckt, Sinas, die Szene mit den Minotauren und Hekate? Wenn nicht, musst du dir mal irgendwann mal anschauen. Das ist schon cool gemacht. Cool gemacht.
Okay, enough talking. Time to do this.
You have a plan for how we're getting inside, I hope?
Ja.
Maybe. You're here to help?
Always.
Then I have a plan.
Was nehmen wir? Machen wir einen, vielleicht gibt es einen anderen Eingang.
Nothing in your bag for bashing a lock, I take it?
Nehmen den
I thought
Morgenstern.
this was an adventure, not break and enter.
Nehmen
What
den
do you think
Morgenstern
adventures are,
und schlag
Freddy?
zu.
I still can't believe you can do that. It's like I don't even know you. And is this a good idea? What if Medusa, like, calls the cops?
She has to know we're here first, Fred.
I suppose idols wouldn't really call the police, would they?
It would need a lot of explaining.
Don't mind the snake hair officers or the statues. Just an honest, everyday citizen.
And there we go. Coming?
Oh, hell yes. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Time to split up and have a look around.
Grace kann halt alles. Schlösser knacken, singen.
What a long day, hiding in the light. Such a long day,
Schöne Szene.
dreaming of tonight. This sacred bite. Hello, who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your drink, girl, and take your seat. Oh, it's the muse. There are sacred bites, and then there's this sacred bite. So wrong, so right. I'm really gonna hate myself tonight.
Medusa, listen, stop, I'm warning you. This is something you don't want to do.
Tell me more about me, look at you. A prime sashimi with opinions too.
Medusa, listen, I'm warning you.
Yes, keep on warning
There's no
me.
rewinding, it's something you can't undo. Can't undo.
It's kind of the point, lovely. Now look
Oh.
into me. Your body goes freely every time I see it tender. The preparation. Any questions or comments? That's right, it is widely known that I can turn folks to stone. But oh, I won't this time. Cause this time I find dine. That oozy musy bloods my wine this time. Look into me. Oh, she's looking away. Hey,
I'm just a temporary muse. Wait,
a temporary muse.
I'm not worth the price.
It's not something you can choose.
Not some exotic slide. I'm a conflicted only idols can look away from me.
Nice try.
Athena made you like this.
She was mad at me. So
Well, why was she mad?
she said I'd been bad.
Had you been?
No. Now look into me.
Listen, Medusa, please. Athena hides you, she's ashamed of you. But she profits all the same from you. If she'd done that to me, I'd be like you.
You could never.
If I'd been damaged in a way that you can't undo.
You're not a killer.
I know. Wait. So you know that it's true that I didn't do it.
No.
Yes, you do know. You know. Does that mean Athena knows?
No. Okay. It's dinner time now. You're not gonna look. Fine grace. I'll take.
Just like fate made you, fate played me. Just like
And I won't see what your eyes see when you look at me. Don't look at me. You think that will hurt me, child? You have not done your homework.
Feuer, Feuer.
Oh, sorry, just trying to get your attention. Yeah, I've been watching, and I'm willing to bet you can't turn me to stone before I burn your snakes off.
Hey, stand down, Freddy. Let's give Medusa some space.
Yeah, okay. I'm watching her, though.
You ready to talk?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you want, pretty muse?
Los, fackel die Schlangen ab. Und, was mit Calliope passiert?
You can start by telling me whether you tried to eat Calliope like you just tried to eat me.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena. I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Calliope to the reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
That's what Asterion told us, more or less.
But you were there that night.
Yes, I admit it. Ugh, Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might think of me, I had no part in the Muse's death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
Schlange am Spieß. Bestimmt lecker.
Asterion said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast of a creature.
He killed Hecate's cat by accident, but this still seems hard to believe.
Yes, I only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the Muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
I thought she might flee to her pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone. She did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me.
Geräuchert lecker. Und wieso hat er nichts gesagt?
You haven't told Athena any of this?
Do I need to light things up again? 'Cause I'll do it.
I told her Calliope was at the reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected.
Ja, wenn Athena geglaubt hätte, dass Medusa irgendwas in der Sache zu tun hätte, wäre es böse mit ihr ausgegangen. Und wieso bist du ihr
You
gefolgt?
followed Calliope to the reliquary. Why were you shadowing her at all?
I am Lady Athena's spy master, yes. Calliope has been trouble from time to time.
So you were spying on her.
I keep watch over every idol who no longer lives in Olympus, but especially Calliope. When I realized she was headed to the reliquary that eve, I followed. I had a duty to Athena.
Und? Weißt du, was sie vorhatte?
Did you ever find out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the reliquary, that is when I saw the muse fleeing. She was frightened, blooded, dying.
Let me guess, that made you hungry.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
That does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
Ja, war zu spät. Und wenn sie dann was gesagt hätte, dass sie da war und sie gesehen hat, weiß Gott, was Athena gemacht hätte.
Why should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
I am telling you the truth.
Right, and not at all trying to cover your own ass.
You presented an opportunity. Oh, to taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a problem. I've been working on it, I really have.
Uh-huh.
Well, what of Pan? The only reason I knew Calliope was going to the reliquary is because he informed me.
So much for never lying to me.
What were the odds, honestly?
Let's put a pin in that for the moment, shall we?
I am a monster, it's true.
Penny
I do
in
not
the ass.
deny it. But still, I did not kill the muse.
Ja, ich glaube ihr. Weil wenn sie getötet hätte, wäre sie in Stein verwandelt worden.
Okay, let's say we believe you. For the moment.
Whatever you do, pretty muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy. I know what I am horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
Nee, ich sag nichts davon.
Indiscretion, huh? It's quite the word for it.
I cannot apologize for my hunger. I can only apologize that I am so very weak in the face of it.
I'll think about it.
I am a lost and cursed thing. No idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth... I hope you find what you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
He knew. Right from the start, Pan knew Calliope was there that night.
Yeah, and who could have foreseen that he was lying to you the entire time? Who, I ask you, a mystery even the Oracle couldn't have penetrated.
Ja, aber auch die Frage, da sie verflucht ist, lebt sie so lange? Weil normalerweise ist ja kein Gott oder Idol, wie man es nimmt. Aber dass sie so lange überlebt hat, das kann dann nur sein, dass sie verflucht ist, lebt sie tausende von Jahren weiter. Das ist schon ein bisschen traurig.
Yes, fine. You were right, Freddy. As always.
Ha! See, was that so hard? Anyhow, you probably have a few questions for Mr. Goatman. I'll see you at home.
Nein, ich glaube, es war mal so gewesen, mystisch, also in der Mythologie, dass Athene sie verwandelt hat, weil sie auf sie eifersüchtig war oder irgendwas, oder Aphrodite hat sie verwandelt. Das ist so, schon so lange her, wo ich mich mal da interessiert habe, aber irgendwas, sowas in der Richtung, dass sie verwandelt worden ist, weil sie zu schön war, irgendwas in der Richtung.
Would you really have tried to burn Medusa's face off? With an aerosol can?
Hell yeah! One hint of googly eyes and...
What would I do without you?
You'll never need to answer that question, Grace.
Und auf jetzt zu Pan, was er mal zu sagen hat.
Oh, if it isn't, the lovely Grace?
You knew. Right from the start, you knew Calliope was there that night.
Well, yes. She asked for the key and I gave it to her, no questions asked. I told you I didn't know what happened to Calliope, and that's the truth. I did not. So I nudged you in the right direction.
Was hast du mir noch nicht gesagt?
So you were what? Just trying to be helpful? You still aren't telling me something.
What possible reason would I have to...
Tell me, right now.
Medusa learned that Calliope was going to the reliquary because I told her. Now, before you say anything, I had no idea of the fate awaiting our dear muse. And you yourself said Medusa was not responsible. I simply had to know if I'd inadvertently, rather innocently...
Glaube ich nicht.
You really expect me to believe that?
I was hoping, yes.
What else will I discover, Pan? I'd rather learn it now than later.
I wish I could tell you, Grace. I truly do.
Was er wohl alles zu verbergen hat. Soll ich zu meiner Wohnung? Gehen wir mal zu Apollo. Gibt es was Neues?
Grace, back again so soon. Did you find Medusa after all? You've been on my mind ever since you told me about her.
I did, and it was fine. I told you it would be. Okay, it almost wasn't fine, but it worked out. Nobody got hurt.
I see. Perhaps you'd best tell me what happened then. That sounds like quite the harrowing experience. One that could have gone very poorly indeed.
Ja, hätte schief gehen können, aber ist es nicht. Grace überlebt alles.
I know, but let's focus on the important part of the story.
Which is that Medusa seems to have been cleared. And that brings us back to Pan. Have you confronted him about it?
He admitted to selling out Calliope, but not to killing her. I don't know if I can believe him.
I've never thought of Pan as a liar so much as a manipulator. Still, he would do anything to protect himself. I'll have to give this some thought. Anything else you'd like to discuss while you're here?
Nö, aber ich komme wieder.
Oh, that's okay. I'll see you later, Apollo.
So. Oh, Tag 5. Wir haben noch 2 Tage, bis wir entweder hingerichtet werden oder unsere Unschuld beweisen können. Das heißt, es geht nicht mehr lang.
Oh, hi, Grace. I can just call you Grace, right?
That's my
Hermes.
name. Where's Freddy?
She went out to get snacks. We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
Er sagt nicht die Wahrheit.
Will there be an idol here every time I come home? Just walking into my apartment, uninvited?
Oh, I was invited. Freddie said I could stay. I haven't touched anything, I swear.
Not really my point.
Anyway, I guess Athena wants to talk? I can zip us over to Olympus anytime, if you're free.
Irgendwas geht
Do I have
vor.
a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
She could always come here. Everyone else does.
Athena enter the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
Athene, die Psycho.
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She doesn't have to, I guess. Everyone brings her everything she needs. And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
So what, she just never leaves the building?
Big Brother, die
She'll go
Eule.
to the reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are. She wears a toga and calls cars iron horses.
Und, was hast
So
du?
this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, you know, extra cool, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I can connect any 2 doorways anywhere, just like that. So it's super easy to take people wherever. I don't mind.
So eine Fähigkeit wäre auch cool. So, du gehst aus die Haustür raus, kommst genau lang zur Arbeit, zum Einkaufen, musst nie lange Wege laufen. Das wäre schon geil.
You say it's easy, but do you like doing all these errands?
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about it. It's nice to have a purpose. Athena is super sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Oh, well, the old Hermes used to say that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
Und, wie war der Alte?
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot. You knew him?
Yeah, I was homeless for a while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in. Everyone's on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different. And then he went on his journey. Man, I still miss him every day.
Ja,
Isn't he still inside you?
das glaube ich
Aren't you
ihm.
kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him again one day. That'd be nice.
No, ist auch zur Psycho.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddie, tell her I'm sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
Thanks, I guess.
Ja, hat wohl so schnell die Kurve bekommen, weil, wenn nicht, wäre sie ja gestorben. Und sie muss auch noch herausfinden, wer es war. Ah, jetzt kann man eine zweite Eigenschaft auswählen. Clever oder draufgängerisch. Bei charmant habe ich schon. Mama clever. Mama clever. Sie ist schlagkräftig und klug. So ist unser Grace.
There you are, Grace. Do have a seat.
Oh, Big Brother heute.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As you like. You've certainly been busy, haven't you? Everywhere I turn, there you are. Including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits. Particularly for your mortal friend.
Los, erzähl mir, was ist rausgefallen?
But you know what happened there. That's where Calliope was attacked.
Yet it's not where she died, Grace, is it?
So, because she made it all the way to my apartment, we shouldn't care why she was bleeding to death along the way.
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace. You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
Glaube ich nicht so wirklich. Sie will nur ihre Macht am Leben halten. Und was hat denn das gebracht? Nur eingeschlossen in der Stadt, nirgendwo hinzugehen, ist doch alles scheiße.
Do you really? Let's explore where all that caring has gotten them, shall we? You're holding on with a grip so tight, your knuckles are turning white. But that's not enough, is it? Every idol I've met is either lost or broken, or both. They're all slipping through your fingers. If you actually cared about them, you'd do something about it instead of sitting up here worrying about your precious rules.
Zeus was the first to leave. King of the gods. And we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next. Walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares betrayed us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered. And by one of our own. The list goes on.
Ja, aber Hades war selber schuld. Wenn man jemanden entführt und tausende von Jahren gefangen hält, sozusagen, in der Unterwelt, da muss man irgendwann dran glauben, dass sie was macht.
I've heard most of that, sure. What does it have to do with me?
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean, our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
Ich hätte auch was machen können, musst du was sagen.
Yeah, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
I know we've put a great deal on your shoulders, Grace. I do. All I called you here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Machen wir mal Medusa.
Alright, let's talk about Medusa.
Met her, have you?
Ja, hab sie getroffen.
Is it true you can't remove her curse? Or is she just too useful?
I wish I could remove the curse. I'm afraid the Athena who bestowed it is long gone. She was prideful, that Athena. As prideful as she was powerful, I'm ashamed to say.
The current Athena is responsible for everything she's done.
I am well aware, Grace. What is it that you would have me do exactly?
Ja, sie zu benutzen.
How about you stop treating her like a servant? Maybe send her somewhere she won't be tempted all the time.
Oh, well, if you happen to hear of a diet camp for man-eating monsters, by all means, do let me know. Now, if there isn't anything else...
Und was mit
What
Pan?
do you know of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected to hear. Been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
Wieso? Ist ein Mörder?
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
Is that where your investigation has led you? To Pan?
Maybe.
Sort of. But I feel like I'm missing something important. Maybe the goddess of wisdom could help me out?
It would be helpful to know what Calliope was doing at the reliquary, but she's not available to ask. Not until you regain her memories, at least.
Why not put off the trial until then? Seems like a good way to solve all this.
Ja.
And trust what you decide to share? I think not.
Werden noch ein paar Jahrhunderte. Lass mir noch Zeit.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key, or...
Does it matter? You gained access, so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
The same person gave it to me, who gave it to Calliope.
And who gave it to Calliope, then? I see.
Ich sag nichts unter meinem Anwalt. Du warst auch da gewesen, oder? Beim Schrein.
Speaking
Gibt's
of
so?
the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet, Calliope was weakened, which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal. One she knew. Perhaps the incidents are connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
Ja, ich glaube Athen nicht so wirklich. Der hat irgendwas damit zu tun, dass Calliope gestorben ist. Vielleicht hat jemand da angestiftet, sie zu töten. Ich weiß nicht. Sie kommen mir immer mehr als Verdächtige im Sinn, dass die es war.
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this, any way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
Nee. Will kein Cookie von dir.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Athena has always struggled in a crisis.
Well, that's a nice way of putting it.
Remember, she was a warrior. When pressed, she's always turned to that aspect, sought to maintain absolute control. It'd be hypocritical to say it's wrong of her. She's battled for me as much as for anyone.
Was denkst du? Stirbt er wirklich?
Do you think she's telling the truth? About the idols dying out?
Yes, though I find it odd she chose to tell you.
Maybe Athena thought, who'd believe Grace if she blabbed about it anyway?
Sadly, while I'd prefer to stay in her good graces, I doubt that will be possible.
Uh-oh. What now?
You may not like this, but you need to go back to the reliquary.
Ja, die sind doch alle depressiv dort. Weil ich denke mal, wenn man jahrhundertelang nur in derselben Stadt lebt und nie rausgehen darf, wird man irgendwann Balla. Würde mir auch bestimmt so gehen, wenn ich nur sagen, in einer Stadt jahrhundertelang immer nur leben kann, nirgendwo anders hin. Ist schon ein bisschen traurig.
You know, Athena said something to me. That it'd be nice to know what Calliope was doing there in the first place.
As usual, you're way ahead of me.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
Remember how I told you it'd be years before you got Calliope's memories back? Well, that's true, but not entirely.
Sag.
Those memories are inside you. You go somewhere important to Calliope or touch something special to her, you will get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
Whatever happened to Calliope there,
Jupp,
it ended
bis
her
gleich,
life.
Sinas.
All we need to do is
Und viel Spaß.
uncover those memories.
Und? Wird's auch wirklich funktionieren?
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
Am I sure? No, I'm not.
Oh, that's comforting.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, well, do you have a way we could look into those things without encountering even more lies?
Deja vu it is.
Und andere Möglichkeiten? Wie wär's mit Hypnotisieren?
Is there really no other way? This seems a bit desperate.
I think that's kind of the point, Grace.
There isn't much time left, and I'm out of ideas that won't take more time than we have.
Well, there's always running, right? Grace leaves the city, goes on a world tour, becomes rich and famous. It's just me. Okay then.
Ich glaube nicht, dass sie aus der Stadt fliehen kann und dann ihr Leben leben kann. Ich glaube, Athene wäre ihr auf den Fersen und würde sie töten. Und, wie kommen wir rein?
Last time Freddy and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
Okay. Do you want to ask Athena for permission?
It just seems like a radical step. For you.
A week ago, I would have said that breaking into the reliquary couldn't be done. A week ago, I couldn't have imagined being here. My stance on a lot of things has changed. If you have another idea, however, I'm happy to go along with it.
Also doch zum Schreien. Wird interessant.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms. At least at first.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then the alarms bring Asterion and Hecate, and all three of us do a great deal of apologizing.
Let's just hope that's all those alarms do.
Und, was soll ich suchen? Wonach soll ich suchen?
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of what happened to Calliope, even a flash. Anything that gives us something to work with.
And if that doesn't happen?
Make it happen, Grace. As if your life depends on it.
Ja.
I can really see why the idols call you the cheery one.
I'm sorry, but why is she here again?
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I can't go into the reliquary with you. Not without tipping off Hecate. But I won't be far. If anything goes wrong, I will come running. But even so, Grace, please be careful.
Keine Sorge, ich schaffe es. Ich bin die mächtige Grace.
You know me. I'm always careful.
Come on, the time for adventure is now.
Be safe. Both of you.
Was soll ich machen? Ich versuche mal mit ehrlich. Mal schauen, was Hecate sagt.
Ah, so that is now. Oh, you were expecting us? It is written that you would come, yes.
That is so cool. I kid you not.
Yet it was
Not.
also written that you would sneak into the reliquary as Calliope did, so this encounter is unanticipated.
Ha! Dein Buch ist falsch. Du kannst verbrennen.
This book of yours really isn't as accurate as you make it out to be.
The course it lays out is almost always correct. The smaller things, they are subject to free will and frequently change. However, even without the book, I do understand why you've come. Is there a reason why you believe my answer will be different now?
Vielleicht bist du mir was schuldig?
Didn't I make you and the Minotaur, well, happier?
You did. It is pleasant.
Isn't that worth anything?
This was true when you were here last, and yet I still considered my duty paramount.
I guess it can't be that pleasant.
My happiness is irrelevant. I am grateful for all you have done, but my purpose here cannot be so easily cast aside.
Athene?
The only reason you won't let me in is because Athena forbids it, right?
She is the one to whom I made my promise, yes.
What if I said that she's a suspect in Calliope's death?
Is she a suspect?
She's an idol. I don't know that she's not a suspect. Yet. Without more evidence, isn't her command potentially self-serving?
You will regret this. That is also written.
That is a yes.
Go quickly. Look, but do not touch. The reliquary stores many artifacts, some dangerous.
Got it.
Jetzt bin ich gespannt, was rauskommt. Viele Bücher. Ich glaube, dafür braucht man wirklich mehr als ein Leben, alle zu lesen.
Of all the times to not have Freddy around, she'd love this. First things first, how do I do this? Where do I even start?
Nimm einfach irgendein Buch.
Must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot. Maybe if I just focus.
Spannend, spannend. Athene?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've definitely been here before.
Poseidon, Dreizack. Ei. Wo ist das Ei? Ah, mit der Schlange.
I don't get any feeling from that. Will I know it when I see it?
Irgendwie habe ich das Gefühl, dass es der Apfel ist. Oder Zweig, eins von den beiden. Die kommt zum Schluss.
Is that a weapon? A musical instrument? Maybe it's both.
Oh. Der sieht schrecklich aus. Hat viel
What did Freddy
gelitten.
say about mazes? Was it always go left? Or go left and then go right?
Ah, der Dreizack. Seine Waffe Poseidons.
Is this an armory too?
Mama Spiegel. Ah, fuck.
This is it. Calliope was here.
Traurig.
She was standing right here. And she... Uh-oh.
Ei.
Hello? Do you work for Hecate? Are you guardians or something?
Nimm den
Okay,
Dreizack.
then.
Oh, klappt nicht. Lauf!
What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Los, lauf!
Oh! Grace?
Lauf beide.
We've got to run. My powers don't work on them. They just keep coming.
No, I won't let you!
Aua. Das hat wehgetan. Ich frage mich, wer die drei sind. Los, renn zu ihr, du Depp.
Oh, God. Oh, God, Freddy.
Oh no. Oh, Grace.
You summoned the Furies.
What?
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
Ich habe nicht mal mit denen geredet.
I didn't talk to any fates. There were figures in the mirror, but they vanished when the Furies got there.
This was no defense or spell of the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted. But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
Hilf mir!
Apollo, there has to be something we can do.
Grace, I'm so sorry.
No, it's not right.
We have to leave. We have to leave now.
Oh, das ist aber traurig. Aber irgendwas muss irgendjemand in dem Spiegel angestellt haben, dass gleich die Furien kommen. Irgendjemand muss es mal manipuliert haben. So. In Ordnung. Akt 2 fertig. Und ich muss sagen, für Akt 2 1, knapp 5 Stunden, muss sagen,
Grace,
war sehr spannend,
I'm
interessant. Die Lieder waren toll
I know
gewesen.
what Freddie meant to you.
Wieso sie?
It should have been me, not her. This was my fight, my problem. I'm already slated to die. If anyone paid the price.
And repeat history? Would you rather have died there, passing your Eidolon onto Freddie instead? Freddie gave you a chance. Gracie, is that what happened to Calliope? Was she attacked by the Furies as you were?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
The Furies. Sent by the same person, I imagine.
Und ich glaube immer noch, dass es Athen ist, dass sie was damit zu tun hat.
Who could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
Even in our prime, none of the idols had the Furies at our beck and call. I mean, perhaps Zeus, but he's long gone. I honestly didn't know the Furies still existed.
Clearly someone can do it.
I mean, unless they weren't sent. Unless they were responding to something else, something you'd done unwittingly. I'm sorry, I'm afraid your guess is as good as mine.
Aber wieso sind die weggegangen? Sie haben nur Freddy abgestochen und mich nicht.
If the Furies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They're enforcers of the old laws. I imagine they decided the debt was paid, whatever it was, when blood was spilled. The blood didn't have to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
Then they would have come after you. And they wouldn't have stopped until they were through. Not ever.
Ja, da kann man jetzt so sagen. Sie können sozusagen nochmal hingehen und wenn ein anderer stirbt, dann ist wieder die Schuld beglichen. Aber Leben, Sterben für Grace.
What are the Furies? They didn't seem like people.
They're not. Hecate called them embodiments of retribution, and I suppose that's the best description. They go back to well, the time before my memory. I was once told they were created to enforce the most ancient laws.
There are ancient laws now?
Decrees one couldn't break, written in blood. Laws even idols abided by in the days of old Olympus. But those surely died with Zeus. Even if they hadn't, You can't have broken any. They're not easy to overlook.
Wird immer interessanter, die Geschichte.
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
Well, apparently she wanted to speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates are primordial beings, like the Furies. They're said to control destiny. Perhaps Calliope wished to know her destiny. Or change it. I'm not sure.
Sind die wirklich so mächtig? Kann man nichts gegen sie machen?
Can these fates really control the future?
They're tied into fate, as I am. Perhaps they're even where my power stems from, or how Hecate's books are written.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, apparently.
Could it have been the fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
I doubt it. If they didn't want to answer the mirror, I'm certain they simply wouldn't.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the fates.
Why not ask them? You too have caused quite the stir. Hecate is beside herself, and Athena is out of her mind. Well done.
How long have you been listening?
Long enough to know that you need another way to speak to the fates, unless you're planning on trying the reliquary again.
Na, glaube ich nicht.
Not a chance. We'll find the truth on our own, Persephone.
If you sent Grace to wander about looking for Calliope's memories, you're already out of options.
Und was, Wendy, hast du?
Wait, what's this about some other way? What are you talking about, Persephone?
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The Fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
Oh, danach zu Hades, oder?
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
Was wird passieren?
So if we go to Hades and find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into exactly?
A great deal.
It's not as if Athena could execute Grace a second time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
Sagen wir so, mehr sterben kann ich eh nicht. Wenn man nicht herausfindet, wer es war, würde ich eh sterben. Also, na, scheiß drauf. Auf zu Hades.
How do we get to Hades?
Baby
do we need a key,
Sinas.
like the reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. So your promise to help Grace was an empty one? Step up! For once. And do what she needs you to do. Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace
Es
can
hat
speak with the fates.
Freddy
It's
erwischt. Weil es, hattest du die ganze Zeit das vor, dass wir zu Hades gehen und den Thron erobern?
Is Apollo right? Is this something you planned all along, Persephone?
Meaning what? What, that I knew what would occur at the reliquary? Perhaps you think I'm the one who unleashed the Furies upon you.
Vor circa,
You've waited for this opportunity
glaub 10
for a
Minuten,
century.
Waited.
Viertelstunde.
Yes. Bided my time. And the moment has arrived.
But you came here to help, right?
And I came here to help.
Yep. Die gute Freddy
Is there really no other way to talk to these fates?
ist leider von uns
Do we have to
gegangen.
take the nuclear option?
Do you want to try going back to the reliquary?
No. No. Hell no.
The only other person with a direct connection to the fates is Apollo here.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then it's the throne or nothing, isn't it?
What's another crazy plan, right?
Grace,
I know, but there's no point in stopping now, is there?
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies, according to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Freddy und Grace ist nochmal zum Schrein gegangen, weil die wollten ja sozusagen ein Déjà-vu hervorbringen, dass sie, vielleicht kann sich Grace daran erinnert, was Calliope machen wollte im Schrein. Also ist die zwei hingegangen, haben Hecate überzeugt, dass Grace kurz reinschauen kann, ob sie was herausfinden kann. Und am Ende hat sie was herausgefunden, dass Calliope wohl die Schicksalgöttin, Athene heißt die. Und Calliope wollte wohl die Schicksalgöttinnen treffen. Aber da waren die Furien nicht einverstanden und haben sie
You said Hades was
abgestochen.
empty.
Your friend may, in fact, be the first new soul to
Ja,
enter its
das glaube ich
halls
auch so, dass
in years.
Athene irgendwas damit
And
zu tun hat.
thus could leave it. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
It's fine, Hermes. Get this over with.
Wo ist Hermes? Ah, da bist du.
Shall I wait here, or...
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
Oh, this is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
Wegen Freddy.
Freddy's dead, Hermes.
What? When did that happen?
She was killed by the Furies. That means she's in Hades. Probably. I have to try to find her there. You're her friend too. I know you wouldn't want to abandon her.
Okay. Signal when you need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
I think I can tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go.
Ah, im Kofferraum ist der Eingang zur Unterwelt. Oh, was Neues.
Welcome to the real underworld.
Ah, ein bisschen schäbig.
Wow.
Aber es ist gut gemacht.
feels so empty. So lonely.
It's not completely empty. Neither is the throne, for that matter. A bitter shade named Orpheus has been squatting on it since my exile. I fully expect he'll be waiting
Orpheus.
for us.
Ah, der Name sagt mir was, aber ich kann mich nicht mehr erinnern, wer genau der ist.
Who is this Orpheus? The name sounds familiar.
It should. His is a popular tale among mortals, regarding how he once came to the underworld to retrieve his love, Eurydice, and left.
Ah, so stimmt.
Hades tricked him, you see. And with Hades dead, the blame has evidently fallen to me.
So he's not a fan of yours?
He is not a fan, no. Not that it matters.
Ja, ich bin da wieder sehen, dass ich habe was vergessen, dass der von überall eine Tür öffnen kann und er überall hinlangen kann. Und warum hast du nicht vorher erzählt?
You didn't think to mention earlier that the throne was occupied?
Because it's irrelevant. Orpheus isn't an idol. He's just an angry little man clinging to an existence that doesn't want him any longer.
And what are we supposed to do? Organize an armed resistance? Challenge him to a duel?
That's what you're here for.
I'm gonna fight him?
Oh, you'll see.
Oh, das wird lustig. Vielleicht.
Okay, so there's an angry ghost sitting on your throne. Anything else about this trip you've neglected to mention?
Come. It's time to cross the Styx.
Oh, the Styx. Ja.
The ferryman will come soon.
Ah, den gibt's auch noch. Der
As we are
Fährmann.
not dead, you will need to convince him you are worthy of passage. State your case clearly and with determination.
Los, fahr mich rüber. Ich muss einkaufen gehen. Ich habe keine Zeit. Geschäft schließt. Los, los.
I am Persephone, also known as Despoina and Kore Sotiera, once queen of the underworld, and shall be again. No, Caron, I did not bring you any cards. I am not here to entertain you.
Oh. Keine Spielkarten für Sharon.
My
Traurig.
name is Grace, and I'm here to save my friend Freddie. Have you seen her?
He says he has. She spoke a great deal as they crossed the river, and that made him very happy.
Ja.
Happy? Why happy?
I don't imagine Caron gets much company these days, Grace. No, she didn't. Neither of us brought games to play with you, Caron. Stop asking.
Ja, ich glaube, Sharon ist ein bisschen einsam. Wenn keiner mehr in die Unterwelt geht, hat er nicht viel zu tun.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something to amuse him. See? You don't even need to interpret that for me.
Yes, what fun. Thank you for encouraging him. Let's get underway, Caron. It's a long ride to the throne room.
Die Geister der Unterwelt. Ah, die haben Sharon gut gemacht. Ja, Tote.
I wouldn't touch that. Way too much
much for you, overload you, blow a fuse. Every story, every memory winds up here in the water. I used to dream that this river would rise, swallow the anger, tears in my eyes. Then suddenly I was found alone. I destroyed Hades, but was denied his throne.
Ilia's dead here, isn't it?
Everything here is fading away. She needs her queen.
We're here for Freddy, too.
I killed the king fair and square. They had no right to take it from me.
It wasn't your fault. There was no right or wrong. It wasn't your fault. You didn't belong. If my life was stolen, I wouldn't know where to turn. Candle isn't finished. It's a slow burn.
Auf was?
Someone's coming.
Mhm.
There's music floating through. Someone's coming. And it has me singing too. We have visitors. I think we all know what to do. To the throne room. This bard's about to meet a muse.
There's someone singing with us.
That would be Orpheus.
Is he a muse?
Oh, he's so much more than that.
Someone's
We
coming.
might have a problem.
A wolf is waiting in the
This
tomb.
bard's already
Someone's
dead,
coming.
but you can defeat him.
I can feel them howling at the
My
moon.
help. Don't forget why we came here.
There's a name here
I won't forget,
that reeks
but you
of
can bet he
enemy.
knows someone's coming.
It's about time, Persephone.
Orpheus, I've been.
What happened to the music?
I have been waiting for you, Persephone,
Gitarre.
for so long. And you brought a muse. Hi. Lovely tune, by the way. Can't remember the last time I collaborated with someone so talented. No offense, Benny. Welcome
Oh,
to my underworld.
er ist traurig.
Let me treat you to a song. A welcome gift. I have the floor. It is mine, after all. Muse. Any requests? Questions?
My friend is dead. Can you help me?
Loop. The river keeps secrets deep in the water. How far do you sink till you're buried below? I challenged the fates and found my Eurydice, but you had to kill her, and I won't let it go. You're asking the wrong person.
It wasn't your fault. How are you to react? It wasn't your fault. Now there's no turning back. If my love was taken, I wouldn't know where to turn. Your candle isn't finished. It's a slow burn. This tete-a-tete is over. If he's the victim, what am I?
Queen, let's not lose our composure. The muse understands.
Well, I won't comply. I'd rather die. Corpses in crowns, tangled and trapped. webs, only looking back. Don't you see what I see? Looks all dead to me, you're both the same.
The same?
I like what you're doing, Muse, but I thought you'd be on my side.
The bard is to blame for the hell that he's been in.
Persephone, you're the reason I'm here. I'm not here to give in.
Oh, you think I will?
Can I get this through both of your heads? You're fighting over something that's dead. I mean, you should have seen this coming.
There's no point in reasoning with him, Grace.
Oh, I believe she was speaking to us both.
I certainly wish I'd seen you coming. It wasn't your fault. You were never to blame. Hades was a monster. We were a part of his game. Orpheus, where's your fire? When will the music return?
The candle isn't finished. It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn.
You both exist somewhere on the border between real and imagined, the living, the dead. So how can this place be everything you dreamed of? You both deserve more, you must let it go. You both deserve more than this stupid throne.
We have been fools.
You're right.
Schönes
Yet,
Musical gewesen.
what about the throne? We can't just leave it empty, can we?
Der Thron muss weg.
All that going around in circles, digging up old wounds, and for what? So you can fight over a chair. There.
You dare. What gives you the right to interfere in this manner? That throne was not yours to break.
Look around you, Persephone. Hades is empty. That chair you wanted so badly, it doesn't matter anymore.
It mattered to me. I paid for that throne with tears and blood, Grace. With years of humiliation you know nothing about. I thought we could help each other, but no, you would rather lecture me. So what's your plan now, Grace? I assume you must have one after that big demonstration.
Plan? Was mit
My
dir?
plan? It's exactly the same as it was before.
You've lost me.
Come on, Persephone. Do you really expect me to believe you just showed up at my apartment eager to help? You wanted to do this, but you couldn't. You needed to convince me, to convince Apollo, to convince Hermes to help you. And for that, you'd say anything, right? You'd tell us there was a way to contact the Fates.
Which there never was. You're correct.
And Freddy?
If the throne alone could bring somebody back from the dead, surely even Orpheus would have figured it out.
Ich war einfach dumm. Meinte wirklich, ich will früher merken sollen, dass sie Persephone nur für sich aus war und nicht einfach für die anderen.
I should have realized it sooner. Before we ever came here. I guess neither of us is as smart as we think we are.
And neither of us will get what we want today.
As opposed to your original plan, where that would have only been me.
At the very least, I had hoped we might find your friend's spirit.
Why? We can't bring her back.
Not without great sacrifice, no. No, the rules of death are clear. Yet, you might have spoken to her. I know what it's like not to get the chance to say goodbye.
Oh, sie hat doch eine Seele. Freddy! In grün.
Freddy, you're here.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually been watching you since you arrived. It's not like there's much else going on.
Fred,
No, don't even start, Grace. I made my decision. I don't regret it one bit.
Aber warum? Du hättest nicht sterben müssen.
But you sacrificed yourself. For me.
Well, yeah. I'd do anything for you, Grace. Hey, what was the alternative? I let the Furies kill you instead? That's not how this story ends.
This isn't a story, Fred.
You're wrong. It is a story. And you need to finish it. Without me. Hey, no.
I guess this is it, huh?
Almost. I found someone while I was down here. Someone you really need to meet.
Ah, Calliope. Die Muse.
Calliope? This... You can't be real. Your soul is inside Grace. Idols don't...
Is inside Grace. The rest of me... I'm here, Persephone.
This is real.
I guess you two were better acquainted than you said. Huh, Persephone?
We parted ways years ago. Persephone couldn't take my lectures any longer.
I'd take them now. I miss them.
No, you don't. Think about how bitterly we argued at the end. Don't blame yourself. Not when there are so many fond memories to cherish instead.
Alles verwirrt hier.
I don't get it. I thought the Eidolon was Calliope's soul. But if that's true, then...
The Eidolon is what makes us an idol, but it's not our soul. Each of us adds a piece to it as it passes on.
But what about the memories?
The memories are but a reflection. And after the Eidolon is passed on, old memories become a reflection of a reflection. That's why the idols have forgotten so much. You knew this truth once, Persephone. Long ago.
Kannst du uns sagen, was wirklich passiert ist? Mit den Furien? Mit dem Spiegel?
We need to know what happened to you, Calliope. How did you die?
Why didn't you come to me? If you were in trouble, I would have protected you.
I know you would have. But I couldn't let you be drawn into Apollo's prophecy as well.
Apollo's prophecy?
He didn't tell you? No. I don't suppose he could have. It's a long story.
Wir haben Zeit. Wir haben jede Menge Zeit.
I don't know about you, but I have all the time in the world. Okay, yeah, bad joke. But I really do need to hear this.
Apollo delivered, with great reluctance, a prophecy that said I needed to die.
And who did he deliver this prophecy to?
Athena.
No.
Then she sent the Furies after me when I went to the reliquary. I barely escaped. I fled back to the mortal world. To you.
Wieso ich? Es war doch Athene.
Why come to me? Of all the places you could have run to, why come to my apartment?
Because I was dying.
But I couldn't save you. I barely even knew you.
I was wandering the streets that night, wondering if I should go to the reliquary or just flee. And I heard you singing. I followed you home after to see where you lived. I didn't know what would happen to me, but I thought, just in case, I knew I had to hold out until I reached you.
Ja, der Geist hat's gesagt. Athene war's.
I don't blame you, in case you're wondering.
You don't?
You didn't ask for all this to happen. You did the best you could, Calliope.
Thank you for saying that, Grace. Truly.
Und warum der Schrein?
Why did you go to the reliquary? We know about the mirror, but
You wanted to annul the prophecy.
And the Fates are the only ones who could, if they would even help me. I doubted it, but I was desperate. I never got the chance to ask. Someone told Athena where I was going, and she must have realized what I meant to do.
But how did she get the Furies to attack you? They aren't pets. You didn't break any of the old laws.
I don't know. Maybe it's something the ruler of the idols can do. But you'd have to ask Athena.
Und was hat Pan zu tun?
you went to Pan for the key to the reliquary, right?
Yes. He's the reason I knew about Nyx's mirror, actually. He told me about it long ago.
He told Medusa where you went. She, I expect, told Athena.
Oh. Pan couldn't have known what it would mean. I didn't explain.
That's it. You forgive him, just like that.
I'm sure he feels guilty enough, my love.
Und was ist diese Prophezeiung?
Apollo hates using his power. Why would he have given a prophecy to Athena?
Because she demanded it. She was desperate.
How did you even find out?
Apollo was horrified after he delivered the prophecy, and he refused to stay silent. And he came to warn me. He was torn. Telling me meant I was locked into it. I still think he did the right thing. Though I expect he disagrees.
Mhm. Ja.
What was the prophecy? Surely I need to hear it.
If I tell you, you'll be locked into it, just like me.
But the prophecy doesn't just say you have to die. There's more to it, right? They always require interpretation.
Apollo told Athena that. He begged her not to jump to conclusions, but maybe she was right.
No, ich will wissen.
I don't care. I have to know.
Athena wanted to know if there was a way to save the idols. The answer was this. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives.
And I'm the last muse.
And now you know the prophecy.
Das hätte er ruhig sein können, Apollo.
I can't believe Apollo didn't tell us about this. He kept quiet the entire time.
He knew Athena killed an idol. He had a duty to tell us.
If he had, Grace would have been locked into the same fate as Calliope.
We don't know that.
Ist nicht fair. Ich will nicht sterben.
It isn't fair, Freddy. This isn't how it's supposed to go.
So many years of history, the fights, the highs, the miseries. I'm so proud of you, but it's time to go.
I never truly saw before how trapped we were, so far from shore. Great at the time, but it's time to go.
It's time to go.
Nee, so einfach ist nicht Sinn, dass du kannst zwar in Hades gehen, aber es zählt nicht als, dass du gestorben wärst. Sie ist immer noch die Muse.
Will I know where to go without you to guide the way across the storming seas? I've had a compass bright and clear. Listen to me when I say, whatever path from which you think you strayed, you will find your way. But it's time to go. It's time to go.
Tschüss, Freddy. Es war nett mit dir. Es war lustig.
It was quick and so was I. I was not prepared to die, but Grace, I choose this, and I know you'll get by. It's time. So many years of history, the fights, the highs, the miseries. I'm so proud, Grace.
Freddy, I gave everything to watch you go. I know.
Now it's time to go.
It's time to go.
Traurig.
You've returned.
Schade um Freddy.
And I see Freddy isn't with you. I'm so sorry, Grace. Did you at least get to speak to the Fates?
No.
Then what happened?
Wir haben einen anderen gefunden.
Then we found Calliope.
Calliope, but her Eidolon is inside you. How
It doesn't work like that. The Eidolon is only a part of an idol. The rest just...
Calliope told us what happened. The prophecy. How you warned her. How you've been lying to us. You knew. You knew the truth this entire time. Even when you said you were helping Grace.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Los, erzähl mir alles.
Is there more you haven't told me? Did you know about the Furies as well?
No. I didn't know how Calliope died.
But you knew Athena was behind it.
I thought I could nudge you in the right direction. Help you find the truth without learning about the prophecy.
Well, you failed. We know it now.
Then it's done. You're locked into it.
Isn't the prophecy open to interpretation? Couldn't you be wrong about how it ends?
When am I not wrong, Grace?
That's right. Leave. It's what you're best at. I don't know how this will affect your trial. We could tell them what we've learned. Even without proof, it makes enough sense that Athena couldn't just brush it off. But if she believes you need to die in order to save the idols, if she truly believes that, it won't matter what anyone says.
Vielleicht können wir was aushandeln. Das wird auch gut. Ich gehe weg. Athene bleibt im Amt.
Does there still need to be a trial? If we go to Athena privately, maybe we could work out some kind of deal.
She won't make a deal. All that will afford her is a chance to kill you before the trial.
She tried that once already.
And your friend died as a result. No, it's a clever thought, but Athena needs to be challenged in front of everyone. When you go to the trial, I'll back your play, up to and including overthrowing Athena. Calliope would approve.
But what about...
Just so you understand, our chances aren't good. I suggest you do whatever necessary to prepare.
Great.
Warte schnell, Sinas. Sorry. Erstmal fangen mit Pan, Persephone und Apollo. Und dann geht's auf zum letzten Gefecht.
Pan? Are you here? Pan!
Kein Pan.
All right then. Guess I'll just head off.
I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. You're not here to yell at me, are you?
No, I, wanted to apologize.
Apologize? To me? Well...
For thinking you might be behind Calliope's murder. Turns out that's not the case.
Oh, then you've learned something, haven't you? Something not exactly pleasant. I see. Isn't that always the way? Tell you what, Grace. Let's indulge in one last transaction. Relay what you've learned, and I'll see if I have any advice to offer.
Soll ich nicht. Los, in dem Spieldurchgang alles erzählen.
Okay, where do I begin?
Well, of course it was Athena.
Wait, you knew?
No, how could I?
So what now?
Let the prophecy play out.
Huh?
Let it play out. It doesn't say the last muse will die. Just that she must for the idols to continue. Perhaps the idols shouldn't continue. Seems reasonable enough.
Aber ich will nicht, dass sie alle stirbt.
I don't want to be responsible for the idols dying out. I don't know how it could be, but what if it's true?
Then we die out. It's not that complicated. And if you're responsible, surely you'll have a good reason. Frankly, change is long overdue. Continuing on as we have been isn't appealing, and I doubt I'm the only one who thinks so. I'm rather looking forward to the trial now. How exciting.
Wie die schaut. Ja, ich freue mich auf Prozess, was wohl rauskommt. Na. Manchmal ist die Steuerung etwas scheiße. Mhm. Werden wir gleich sehen in dem Prozess.
Did you forget something, Grace?
It felt like we hadn't quite finished our conversation.
Ja, das glaub ich auch, dass die Götter so denken, dass
What more is there to discuss?
Zeit für eine Veränderung gibt. Ja, das mit dem Hades.
We could talk about what happened in Hades. We were kind of interrupted by Freddy, and then everything.
What else could we have said, Grace? Yelled at each other more, perhaps?
If it'd help, yeah.
Calliope would not have approved of the way I acted. But then she seldom did. It was so good to see her in Hades. To have her say she forgives me.
Oh, danke, Livian.
It's easy to forgive myself.
Von vorn.
You could apologize, you know.
Ich glaube, Orpheus hat eingesehen, dass es nichts bringt,
You
einfach auf
shatter
dem
my throne without so
zu
much as
bleiben.
by your leave. And I'm the one who apologizes?
I could go first if you like. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too, believe it or not. Is that better?
It's a start.
Is it any easier out there? Do you miss being a mortal, Grace?
Was ich vorhin sagen wollte, ich glaube, Orpheus ist dann einfach gegangen, weil er hat eingesehen, dass es nichts gebracht hat, auf dem Thron ewig zu sitzen oder gesessen zu haben, weil er hat ja seine Raldekie, oder wie die heißt, nicht mehr zurückbekommen. Vielleicht wandert er durch den Hades umher. Man wird es nie erfahren. Vielleicht irgendwann, aber momentan kommt es mir so seltsam vor.
Eventually I will. I'll always wonder what I might have become.
I never gave it a second thought before. Now I wonder.
Und zum letzten. Na? Mit was verbuggt. Dann bin ich ja die Maus. Oracle.
Oh, it's you. Paul comes in, mopier than his usual mopey self, and won't say a word about why. But of course, it's you.
Ja, ein bisschen weiß gewesen.
Look, I know you care about Apollo. I'm not here to hurt him.
Uh-huh, yeah. And, why should I believe you?
Because I just came to talk. I want to sort this out. If I can.
I guess I can go ask him if he wants to talk to you. Don't be surprised if he says no, though.
It's all right, Oracle. I think Grace and I need a moment alone, if you please.
Oh, sure. Don't mind me. It's not like I was in the middle of anything.
Chips. Kann ich auch
I
vertragen,
know how
Chips.
Persephone feels. But not you. You'd have every right to be furious with me.
Ich brauche keinen Beschützer. Ich bin groß genug.
You think I need to be protected, Apollo, but I don't. Certainly not by you.
It wasn't that I thought you helpless, Grace. It was that I was the one who set this all in motion. When I first became Apollo, I was so sure I could help people. Help the world. I ignored the warnings. You have no idea how many lives I ruined before I stopped. I never should have given in to Athena. This one time, I thought that maybe it will be different.
Ja, aber auch wenn du ein Gott der Prophezeiung bist und so, du kannst nicht alles wissen.
You don't know everything, Apollo. Half the problem is that you and every other idol thinks they do.
What do you mean?
Trying to prevent the prophecy is what's making it come true.
So you want to, what, stop trying?
Maybe.
I hope you can forgive me, Grace.
Irgendwann.
There's nothing to forgive, Apollo. You did what you could for a friend. You didn't owe me anything.
I guess all that remains is the trial. Whatever happens, Grace, I'll be standing right there by you.
Thank you.
Ah, der Controller will nicht, also machen wir's. Und jetzt ist das Finale. Oder? Oder kommt noch was? Ah. Hier hat sie vorgesungen, Calliope.
So this is it. All your new friends have lied to you, but somehow they're gonna get you through the trial, right? I wish Freddy were here.
Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. I'll embrace the fire as it burns deep inside, bright enough to guide me, an ocean defied. But as I burn, they've all turned away one by one. In the end, am I alone? Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold water, no
Schöner Song. Die ganz alten Musen haben sich gezeigt.
Here we go.
Ah, wo ist die Olde? Wo ist Big Brother?
Hello?
Oh, Grace, there you are. Everyone is already waiting for you on Olympus.
Ah, ich dachte, hier wird der Olymp.
I thought this was Olympus.
Not this office building. My word, no.
Oh, Hermes. Schaust nicht glücklich aus.
Welcome to Old Olympus, dear.
Das sieht cool aus.
Is this a real place?
It's the memory of a real place, which for us is the same thing. Let's begin, shall we?
Lang lebe Grace, die neue Königin.
Brothers, sisters, everyone, look around you. We few who remain fled to this new land to escape the war, but we are not out of danger. I waited to tell you until I was certain, and now I am. The idols are dying. It will not be long before even our immortality deserts us. The time for extreme measures has arrived.
Es geht um eine Verhandlung, nicht um die Dode.
I have to ask, why are you bringing this up at my trial? What's the connection?
Execution is an extreme measure, Grace. Yet, it is sometimes necessary.
For someone who claims to be about saving lives, you seem to find it necessary an awful lot.
Each of you is here because I brought you here. I protected you. I carved out this space in a strange land so we could survive. I am at this trial to tell you that, as always, I will look out for you. I will save you. Trust in me, Pallas Athena, daughter of Zeus and leader of the chorus, and I will do anything it takes to keep you all alive.
You'll do anything?
Ja, sie will ihre Macht nicht abgeben. Nachdem sie so lange geherrscht hat, will sie nicht wieder abgeben.
It must be difficult. Feeling as if everything is on your shoulders, and yours alone. One moment of weakness and it all falls apart. You've been doing this for so long, you don't even know how to stop, do you?
Oh, dear child, why on earth would I stop?
Because what you've done is wrong. If it wasn't, then why not come clean? Go on. Tell them about Apollo's prophecy. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives. Isn't that how it goes?
It's true.
Du bist ein Monster geworden, Athene.
If there's any threat to the survival of the idols, Athena, it's you. I'm willing to bet this isn't about the prophecy. No, really. This is about you staying in control.
How dare you!
How dare me? Who murdered Calliope? Who tried to murder me? Why keep it all a secret? Tell them.
Yes, it's me. It's me. Of course, it's me. The one who gets it done. Don't you see? It had to be. You all turn away when I got the fish. Then you cry, hooray, once it's on the dish. That's how we do this. Yes, we. Yes, you and me. I have always cared for you. I'll always do all these things for you. All these things that you are not prepared to do. You, it's not just you. Time to put you in check. There are other idols too. You irritating speck. Aren't you aware? Sorry, little bird. It's time. These people time to wring your neck.
This I know. Once the muse is dead, questions creep. They'll burrow in my head. What did I do? What didn't I do? All this time, you've shown us what to sing. Wisdom, that's what you bring. Is that still true?
This coming from you. You're lost, little boy. You've lost all perspective. You're ready to throw this away, to throw us aside. I'm not hearing wisdom here, I'm hearing pride. None of you see. So it's down to me. It's fine, I'll take all the blame. I'll take all the pain. Think you see it all, you just see a scrap. You wanna make the call, you need to hold the map. You cloistered children. It's time for you and all who stand with you. Yes, you too. Form a queue. Time to follow through. Hey, y'all, now listen, I'll be crystal clear. I'm saying this to everybody here. No substitutions, no, you're all too dear. We're keeping everybody leaves this place alive.
Nein, Buggy. Jetzt bin ich traurig. Ja, bei mir auch. Ah. Wieder da.
Oh, not in that way. I just meant to say you're great, Grace, and I'm with you, or I'm not with you. I'm just you know what I mean.
Sag mal, Aphrodite.
I was so low I nearly withdrew. Now I'm here because she inspired me. Of course, it's me. Because of me, this prophecy would come to be. My Olympus is gone, and you're all looking on at her stranger wearing my face. My Olympus is gone. Now I'm some other one. Just how long has she been in place? You set off hoping you could get to somewhere right, but it's been too many years since the mainland was in sight. There was a voice in me that shouted, Athena, you be strong. Be strong. No cost is great enough. It was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong, and now I don't know what the right thing is. I leave it up to you what to do with this.
Ja, vergeben. Wir sind mal gutherzig.
I forgive you, Athena.
Kopf ab, Kopf ab, Kopf.
Look into me. I know what I see. Yes, a monster. I've met monsters who weren't monsters. I'm a monster to me. I'm sorry, Grace. I'm sorry, all of you. I wish Calliope could know it too. She does. She hears you.
Ich glaube, es ist gleich vorbei. Man muss sagen, ein schönes Spiel. Hätte ich nicht gedacht.
Are you finished?
Nee,
You've been talking
Sinas.
forever.
We're done, yes.
And?
Nur
You
knuddeln,
certain
mehr
about that
nicht.
chair, brother? You've always said you didn't want it.
I think it's about time, don't you?
Auch wenn ich beim letzten Mal beim Preis gedacht habe, was kostet, glaube ich, momentan 30 €. Das ist vielleicht etwas viel ist, aber für 30 € kann man trotzdem kaufen. Ha? Apollo, Chef?
Wait, you're leading the chorus now?
Only for the moment. That's what we need to tell you. We've decided to disband the chorus. No more laws, no more hiding from mortals. It's time the idols found a new way.
Yay!
You're planning to tell everyone what we really are? Isn't that risky?
We'll give it some time to let those who are afraid go into hiding, but it needs to happen. We have to rejoin the world.
Mhm. Ja, man muss sich wieder der Welt anschließen, weil man kann sich ewig verstecken. Und was mit Athene?
What about Athena? She can't be okay with this.
She won't fight it. She said, and I quote, "Whatever your decision, I will abide by it."
That's a switch.
The fight's just not in her anymore. She was so certain she was doing the right thing.
It must be tearing her apart now that she's failed.
Well, we'll see how long this new Athena lasts.
You all agreed to this? No argument?
Oh, we don't do anything without argument, dearest.
It's what Calliope fought for. It seems appropriate. I only wish you were here to see it.
Calliope would definitely approve.
Yes, well, it'll be up to us to pick up the pieces if this all falls apart.
We have to try. What other choice do we have?
Aber was ich hoffe, dass sie vielleicht noch einen zweiten Teil rausbringen, wo wir mehr über die anderen Charaktere herausfinden, wie Hephaistos, was mit denen passiert ist, oder DLC rausbringt, was mit der sozusagen Lücke in den Tausenden von Jahren passiert ist. Das wird alles interessant, falls sie es rausbringen.
It's hard to picture the idols living without rules. Medusa comes to mind, for instance. Think she'll be okay with mortal laws?
Medusa has offered to live in the reliquary. Frankly, I think she's relieved. As for the others, I suppose they'll have to answer to mortal authorities now.
These authorities. Do you think we could ask them about Hephaestus?
I don't see why not.
Ich weiß
I have a
was.
few thoughts as to how you could go about revealing yourselves.
I was hoping you might.
If there's time, we could prepare a campaign.
A campaign? You make it sound like preparing for battle.
It is, kinda. The idols would be stars before you know it. If you're famous enough, there's only so much that can be done to you.
Now that is a marvelous idea indeed.
Could you all give Grace and I a moment, please?
Heirat, Weißbrot und ja, was die jetzt rausgebracht haben, schon eindrucksvoll. Ich hoffe, die können das beibehalten. Ja, aber Freddy nicht traurig.
Not everyone survived.
I didn't know Freddy well, but I suspect she'd be proud of you.
Oh, probably. You defeated the goddess of wisdom with a song! Top 40 material, Grace!
I'm guessing a top 40 is good?
Freddy sure thought so, yeah.
Obviously, you're as free to go as any of the idols, but I do hope you'll remain with us. We need you.
Aber nichts mehr vorenthalten.
I could manage that. So long as there isn't any more lying. No more trying to protect me.
I think the trial proved that you are the very last person who needs protecting.
That's a yes?
That is a yes. You have my word. What do you say, Grace? Ready to face the music one more time?
Always.
Yay! Akt 3 vorbei.
Of course you're both here. In my apartment. Why wouldn't you be?
We were waiting for you.
How does it feel to be the Idol spokesperson, appearing on every newscast, reputable and otherwise?
I'm exhausted.
The Oracle has been keenly following your progress. She records every appearance, every interview. She may be your biggest fan.
The way she talks, you'd think she never doubted who you were.
Well, at least she's been of great help to your online campaign.
Everyone here has also been busy. Would you like to hear the latest?
Ja, wie geht's ab? Aphrodite und Eros?
Is there any word yet on Aphrodite and Eros? They left the city a while ago.
Eros sent word, yes. Aphrodite has started a spiritual retreat in the mountains?
Let's call it a cult.
Whatever it is, he says it's been helping her. Being the goddess of love to the world once more has at last brought her peace.
I thought for sure they'd go into hiding. Aphrodite fears mortals more than any other idol, doesn't she?
Hence why she surrounded herself with only those who shower her with adoration.
As I recall, sister, you also headed several cults across the centuries.
The Eleusinian mysteries weren't about shoring up my ego, Apollo.
What about Venus? Did she go with them?
The mortal? I don't believe so. Last I heard, she opened a gallery. Aphrodite's become her patron.
Könnte man so sagen, Sinas.
Venus has painted most of the idols. I sat for her last week, in fact. It's made her rather successful.
Ja, das interessiert mich. Hekate und
What
Asterion.
about Hecate and Asterion? Are they still at the reliquary?
Hecate leave the reliquary? I'd sooner believe the sun would go out.
It doesn't hurt that they seem enraptured with each other's company.
Asterion is all Hecate is willing to discuss. Do I need to know every detail of his sexual prowess? I do not.
Didn't Hecate say it is written that she and the Minotaur would eventually break up?
Well, eventually, for Hecate could be centuries from now.
In the meantime, she gushes about her new boyfriend like a schoolgirl.
You should hear Asterion then. His gushing puts hers to shame. I'm happy for them both.
Aber schön, die zwei so zu sehen. So glücklich.
And Medusa? I take it she's no longer at the reliquary.
She was. For a few months.
There was an incident involving Hecate's new cat.
Oh no!
Medusa was beside herself with apologies, but needless to say, she moved on rather quickly. We're not certain where.
Meaning what? Medusa is roaming the streets? Doing whatever she likes?
Not quite.
Medusa believed she might not be able to control her appetite, so she asked us to put her in contact with the mortal government. They took her somewhere. It was her decision. The government is grateful. They even suggested we might see Hephaestus again.
Aphrodite's husband? He's alive?
So it appears. Who knows what he's been doing for the mortals since the war, but it would raise all our spirits to see him again.
Schön, dass er lebt. Und das macht Athene.
Has anyone heard about Athena? It's been a while.
I have. She left the city, as she felt uncomfortable with all the attention on the idols.
Terrified, you mean?
It was more that mortals expected the goddess of wisdom to have sage advice, and she no longer trusts her judgment.
No surprise there.
You don't still worry about her, brother, after all she's done?
I think of her off in the far north, living alone in the wilderness, punishing herself until the end of her days. I know it's her own choosing, but it seems like such a waste.
Ja, Athene musste, glaub, ein paar Jahrhunderte mit sich selbst mal klarkommen und wieder zu sich selbst kommen.
Is Hermes still around? I'm surprised they're not here with the rest of you.
Well, we've barely seen them of late.
Hermes has been busy. They've become a social media darling, or so the Oracle tells me.
The truly amusing part is that they're not even trying to be famous. They simply can't help it.
Hermes likes to people please, it's true.
Hopefully it won't backfire on them. Fame is a double-edged sword.
Hermes lives a charmed life. Never fear.
Well, it's odd seeing their face on so many billboards, but I agree. Let Hermes have their fun.
Zu viel rum kann sehr schnell nach hinten gehen. Alkohol, Drogen, schlechte Freunde.
What about Pan? I haven't seen him since the trial.
No one's seen him.
Should we be worried? It is Pan, and what he does will reflect on us all.
Pan is harmless.
Mostly harmless.
As far as I can tell, he did regret his involvement in Calliope's death. He'll lay low. At least for a time.
He'll be back with some new scheme to make us all groan.
You're not wrong.
Und was macht der gute Apollo?
What about you, Apollo? Still planning on leaving the city?
Not right away. I've been helping the idols remaining at Olympus learn how to live as part of the mortal world.
Every day he parades about the city with idols in tow like frightened ducklings, showing them how the world works.
But Apollo barely knows how the world works.
Well, that's what makes it funny. It's the blind leading the blind.
And after that?
I don't know. I was thinking of traveling for a time. Despite my age, there are so many places I haven't been.
What you mean is that all the attention on the idols is driving you to distraction.
It is a bit disconcerting. The photographers following me around, the letters addressed to the sun god. I don't know what to do with it all. Even so, I'm not running away. I'll be back. I simply think it's time to see the world again with my own eyes.
Ah, die Ex-Königin von Hades, der Unterwelt, Persephone.
How about you, Persephone? Any big changes?
Not yet, though I may be selling the club very soon.
Oh,
The underworld? Why?
Money.
I don't need a substitute for the real thing. That's all it ever was, and I'm fine with having neither. That said, I've been itching for a change. I believe it's time to move on to something else.
Do we get to know what that something else is?
No, you don't. I came by to give you all my regards, such as they are. After this, you likely won't see me for quite some time.
You will be missed, sister. More than you'll ever believe.
Ich glaub, gleich ist vorbei.
I still can't believe it's all over.
Oh, it's scarcely over, Grace. Now that you've toppled the castle, it's barely just begun.
Well, I didn't do that.
On the contrary, you absolutely did.
Perhaps we should leave you alone, Grace. You must be tired from your trip.
Kind of feels like this is it, huh? Like we won't see each other for a long time.
No. Not like this. You're right.
Everything has changed.
Stormy skies is clear, soft breeze blow.
The ocean lies calm, stars are out.
We'll chart our paths, I've no doubt.
Where will we end up with different routes? A fresh coat of paint, sails unfurled, ready to go.
Watching the shore as we drift away.
Lost in the sunrise, parting mists of gray.
Sailing to new water, the rush of a new day.
Everything has changed. Everything.
Schön was gewesen. Yay! Ein schönes Spiel geht so vorbei. Ist zwar, wenn man so nimmt, kurzweiliges Spiel. Geht knapp 7 Stunden das Spiel. Aber für die 7 Stunden hat man seinen Spaß. Ist emotional. Die Lieder passen gut, sind gut gemacht worden. Alles ist einwandfrei, finde ich. Nur zum Schluss, dass mit der Musik ein bisschen buggy war. Aber ansonsten, viele Bugs gab es nicht. Ein bisschen dass nicht alles übersetzt worden war, aber die paar Texte, die konnte man, wenn man ein bisschen Englisch konnte man sehr gut übersetzen. Das war nicht so tragisch gewesen, fand ich. Yep. Weil ich kenne auch Spiele, die mehr als 7 Stunden dauern und kaum Emotionen reinbringen. Wo ich so kenne ich selber so nach 2-3 Stunden das Spiel wieder beende, weil es einfach keinen Spaß macht. Aber dieses Spiel, ich glaube, ich werde es auch für mich selber noch 1-2 Mal selber spielen und die anderen Lieder mal anhören, was es so gibt, Entscheidungen, was man nehmen kann. Ja, stimmt auch, dass man, wenn es zu lange ist, dass es etwas überzieht und dass das die Emotionen nicht mehr so wirklich rüberbringt. Für 7 Stunden hat es gut gepasst und bin froh, dass ich es gespielt habe. Ein schönes Spiel geht vorbei. Das Spiel sollte auch nicht so schwer sein. Das ist einfach nur so ein visuell Novell so Spiel. Einfach nur die Geschichte genießen, die Emotionen, die Lieder. Einfach für jedermann es genießen. Wo es jeder spielen kann, in Ruhe, ohne sich so wirklich abzuhetzen. Daher, ich finde, solche Spiele kann man auch hin und wieder spielen. Einfach nur Spiel genießen, zurücklehnen. Okay, man kann auch, wenn man sich ein bisschen schwerer machen will, man kann das Quicktime-Event anmachen Und da musst du dich schnell entscheiden bei der Musik, welche du nehmen willst. Das könnte man noch so reinbauen, dass es ein bisschen schneller geht. Aber ansonsten war es ein schönes Spiel. Achso. Überspringen. Und ein schönes Spiel geht vorbei. Und das soll es auch für heute gewesen sein. Ich denke mal, am Donnerstag geht es dann weiter mit Mass Effect 2, weil das will ich auch noch vor meinem Urlaub im September noch beenden. 2 und 3. Das will ich noch beenden, das Mass Effect vor meinem Urlaub. Weil im Oktober, da freue ich mich selber drauf, kommt Lords of the Fallen Reboot raus. Und das will ich auf jeden Fall spielen. Das wird dann mein nächstes Stream-Projekt nach der Mass Effect-Reihe. Ich freue mich schon drauf. Ja, ich hab's dann, wo es nicht mehr ging, habe ich geguckt. Erstmal wegen Grafik, so Fenstermodus, Vollbildmodus, bla bla, hat nicht geklappt. Dann habe ich mal weitergeguckt, dann hieß es einfach nur Spiel deinstallieren, installieren, habe ich gemacht und dann ging es auf einmal weiter. Es hieß auch, dass manchmal das Spiel so Bugs hat, dass man sein kann, dass es irgendwie stecken bleibt und einfach wieder neu installieren muss. Aber ich hoffe, es kommt nicht so oft vor. Aber ansonsten geht es am Donnerstagabend weiter mit Mass Effect 2. Und dann, Dinas, wenn du dabei bist, gehen wir Jack mal besuchen. Sie wird dir sehr gefallen. Glaub mir. Jack wird dein Hauptcharakter, dein Lieblingscharakter in Mass Effect 2. Aber ich wünsche euch alle noch eine... Oh! Danke, Sinas, für dein Abo. Wäre nicht nötig gewesen. Wäre wirklich nicht nötig gewesen. Ich wünsche euch alle dann eine schöne Nacht. Erholt euch gut. Trinkt viel. Geht nicht auf in die Sonne. Ich mache es zum Spaß für euch, dass ihr es genießen könnt. Weil für wenn ich mache es für meine Zuschauer, dass sie ihren Spaß haben. Aber ups, meine Flaschen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ja, Donnerstag geht Mass Effect 2 weiter. Weil wir sind ja letzte Woche, das war vor 2 Wochen, durch den Bug stehen geblieben, wo wir zur Key gegangen sind, um den Kroganer zu rekrutieren. Und wo ich die Mission beenden wollte, war ein Bug, das einfach nicht weiterging. Wir sind weggeflogen vom Planeten und auf einmal bin ich einfach stehen geblieben. Aber jetzt geht's weiter und am Donnerstag geht's weiter endlich mit Mass Effect und Shepard rettet die Galaxie mal wieder. Nichts Neues für ihn. Ja, aber kann man nichts machen gegen Bugs. Solange es wieder geht, ist mir egal. Ja, hi. Und tschüss, bis Donnerstag.